10 Mysterious Structures of the Cold War Era. Kelvedon Tunnel. As the Cold War unfolded, the swift changes in the dynamics of the conflict, despite the perceived safety of aligning with the United States, led the United Kingdom to prepare extensively for worst-case scenarios on its own soil. Kelvedon Tunnel emerged during that time. Concealed beneath an ordinary house in Essex, its primary purpose was to serve as a refuge for key figures, sheltering them from potential intercontinental missile attacks. The Essex bunker, reaching a depth of 38 meters below ground, was constructed with the sturdiest alloys and thick concrete. In emergencies, it could accommodate up to 600 people, with the bunker entrance made of bomb-resistant alloys. Today, Kelvedon Tunnel is open to visitors, with a sign at the entrance reading Secret Nuclear Bunker, as a reminder of a tumultuous period in history. Initially built for defense, the bunker was later repurposed as the regional government headquarters as the Cold War progressed. It now operates as a museum. 2. Ronald Reagan Minuteman Missile Site. The United States, at the forefront of the Cold War, engaged in an arms race and global intelligence activities in the post-1945 era, supporting capitalist ideologies. One significant intelligence facility during that time was the Ronald Reagan Minuteman Missile Site, although it is more commonly known for storing missile launch equipment, part of the 321st Missile Wing at Grand Forks Air Force Base. Orska Zero Missile Alert Facility and November 33 Launch Facility were completed in 1965, with Minuteman II missiles installed soon after, following an intense arms race into the early 1980s. The Cold War showed signs of ending with the fall of the Berlin Wall and the collapse of Soviet bloc countries in Eastern Europe. This nationally historic site in North Dakota allows visitors to explore the various work areas and hear well-informed guides recount related events. Visitors can also venture inside bomb-resistant concrete doors to view the preserved missile launch equipment. If possible, consider visiting the Ronald Reagan Minuteman Missile Site. 3. Bunker Noah 42. The remaining major player in the Cold War was none other than Russia, a country that wholeheartedly supported socialist regimes worldwide. To counter the nuclear threat from the US, Russia constructed Bunker Noah 42 in the early 1950s. Located on a quiet street near Taganskaya Square, an elegant modern building serves as the entrance to the secret communications center. During the Cold War, this facility was used as a communication hub. In the event of a nuclear attack, with the building merely serving as a shell, leading to a vast 7.0 square meter space 60 meters underground, now privately owned. The facility has been transformed into a museum dedicated to the Cold War, designed and built after the Soviet Union's first nuclear tests. These tests determine the optimal depth for bunker storage to be no higher than 165 feet underground to remain intact against nuclear fallout, incorporating cutting-edge techniques of the time. Bunker Noah 42 resembles an exceptionally robust fortress with a capacity of up to 3,000 people, sustaining them for 90 days. Today, the site is open to visitors as a historical museum, containing artifacts and remnants of memories from the Cold War era, with some even choosing to celebrate weddings here. 4. USS Albacore. After the establishment of the Ronald Reagan Minuteman Missile Site, the United States constructed the historic submarine USS Albacore, becoming the most advanced modern submarine in the U.S. Navy, and a focal point for military research during the arms race. After several relocations, the White House ultimately decided to place it in the port of Portsmouth, New Hampshire, allowing the public and tourists to witness the steel evidence of the Cold War. USS Albacore daily broadcasts explanations of each area, featuring underwater recordings of sailors discussing life on the submarine. This location is immensely attractive to historians studying this period. USS Albacore is a research submarine designed by the U.S. Navy to test experimental features used in modern submarines. The Navy tested top-secret features leading to the development of high-speed, silent operations used in modern U.S. submarines. Today, Albacore has been preserved and opened to the public. Visitors can explore the interior, look through periscopes, discover the control room, technical spaces, and sleeping quarters, and listen to crew members recount life at sea. As visitors traverse the vessel, a series of sound stations highlight Albacore's unique features. Recordings by former crew members narrate daily life and some hair-raising incidents on the submarine. 5. Glienicke Bridge. Although not directly aligned with either side of the non-weaponized Cold War, Germany was a significant factor that both the United States and Russia were concerned about. Dividing, Berlin holds many remnants of that era, with the capitalist West and socialist East vying for control of half the wall. Checkpoint Charlie, remnants of the Berlin Wall, and the Spy Museum are attractions linked to the Cold War. Among them, Glienicke Bridge stands out. Built in the Potsdam district, renowned globally for exchanging Warsaw Pact spies for Western agents, Glienicke Bridge witnessed sacrifices made by those who dedicated themselves to Germany. Glienicke Bridge, German, Glienicke Brücke, is a bridge spanning the Havel River in Germany, connecting Berlin's Wannsee district with the Brandenburg capital of Potsdam. It is named after the nearby Glienicke Palace. The bridge was completed in 1907 and was damaged during World War II. The film Bridge of Spies, The Negotiator, directed by Steven Spielberg in 2015, recounts the history of the 1962 spy exchange between Francis Gary Powers US and Rudolf Abel Soviet Union, and was filmed on location. 6. Greenbrier Bunker. Not falling behind other countries, in the 1950s, the US government constructed an underground facility beneath the Greenbrier as a resort hotel in West Virginia. This location was intended to be the shelter for the entire Congress in the event of a nuclear war, as at this point, the Soviet Union had begun to challenge the nuclear weapons balance, breaking the US's nuclear dominance. The Greenbrier bunker had enough supplies for 30 years, serving as a remote refuge for a potential prolonged wartime scenario. However, it was never used. Currently, the site is open to visitors, and hotel guests can witness the grandest bunker in the United States firsthand. One of the significant Cold War remnants is the Greenbrier bunker, built to accommodate all 535 members of Congress in the event of a nuclear attack. Greenbrier was chosen for its relatively close and accessible location to Washington, yet far enough to be safe from atomic bombs, and for its previous relationship with the US government. During World War II, Greenbrier served as a training base for Japanese, Italian, and German diplomats, and later as a military hospital where Eisenhower was a patient. Although it returned to its original function as a hotel after the war, government officials occasionally still hold conferences at Greenbrier. 7. Memento Park. While not deeply involved in the Cold War, like the United States, Russia, or France, Hungary also faced the threats of the Cold War. Memento Park, located in the outskirts of Budapest, preserves dozens of sculptures from this intense period, most notably designed by the renowned architect Akos Eliade. The park officially opened to visitors in 1993 and stands as one of Budapest's most unique attractions. Memento Park is adorned with statues and memorial plaques honoring heroes of communism and the socialist era, serving as a virtual cemetery for that period of Hungary's history. Here, One can find statues elevated to honor international communist heroes like Lenin and Marx, alongside plaques commemorating the failure of the Hungarian Revolution in 1956. Memento Park offers visitors a glimpse into the propaganda and official narratives that dominated Hungary's public life during the past half-century. 8. Dracolo Tunnels. Similar to the Kelvedon Hatch bunker, Dracolo Tunnels served as a Cold War refuge, built beneath the Kingsford County Park near Kidderminster. This site was a source of pride for British politicians due to its meticulous facilities. The tunnels, stretching up to 6 kilometers, included sleeping quarters, bathrooms, workshops, warehouses, offices, electronic equipment, and even a BBC recording studio. In the early 1990s, the British government sold the area to private individuals, and it is now open for limited visitation on specific days. Dracolo Tunnels represent a formerly secret military complex underground, not far from Birmingham. The tunnels of Dracolo have a colourful history. They were excavated from 1941 to 1942 to build a shadow factory for the Rovercar Company, primarily manufacturing components for aircraft engines. The shadow factory concept, developed in Britain in the late 1930s, allowed knowledge and machinery to be shared between industries, as at Dracolo between the automobile and aircraft manufacturers. Dracolo remained secret until 1993 when it ceased operations, and kilometers of tunnels and outdated equipment were sold to private individuals. Since the sale, the Dracolo Tunnels Preservation Trust has worked to restore the complex, aiming to create a comprehensive Cold War museum. 9. Tempelhof Airport. During the Cold War, as the struggle between the capitalist West and socialist East unfolded in Berlin, Germany, Tempelhof Airport received over 200,000 flights transporting everything from food and coal to cars and weapons for the conflict. This historic airport has been transformed into a city park, allowing residents and visitors to see remnants of this intense period. Tempelhof Airport officially closed on October 30, 2008. The main building of Tempelhof Airport was once one of the largest architectural structures in Europe, earning it the nickname the mother of all airports, designed by British architect Norman Foster. Tempelhof was used to test some of the world's first airplanes, incarcerate World War II prisoners, and provide West Berliners with a vital lifeline to the outside world during the Cold War. It was also used for filming movies such as The Hunger Games, The Bourne Supremacy, and Bridge of Spies. Today, the airport serves as a large refugee camp with a capacity of up to 7,000 migrants. 10. Titan Missile Museum. The American Titan missiles posed a significant political threat to many countries during the Cold War, becoming a major advantage in the Cold War arms race and a source of pride for military scientists. Once one of the United States' most top-secret locations, the Titan Missile Museum is a National Historic Landmark near Tucson, Arizona, housing a preserved Titan II intercontinental ballistic missile, the last remaining of the 54 Titan II missile sites that were operational in the U.S. from 1963 to 1987. The Titan Missile Museum features walls over 2.4 meters thick and bomb-resistant doors, safeguarding against potential threats to America's formidable military weapons. Visitors can witness a massive key-lock silo blast door and even stand beneath the colossal warhead to directly experience the terrifying destructive power that defined the weaponry of this century. At the Titan Missile Museum, visitors travel through time to stand on the historical front line of the Cold War. They can observe the heavy 3-ton blast doors, 8-foot thick silo walls, and an actual Titan II missile in the launch tube, explore the underground launch control center, and experience a simulated missile launch Above are 10 mysterious structures that governments only later decided to reveal the truths. Behind the Cold War era. Hopefully, this provides a deeper understanding of this impactful non-weaponized war.